Minmaxing, a term for a player that tries to maximize certain skills or abilities while putting nothing into anything else. These type of players, in a sense, tend to be one-trick ponies. They build their character to be optimized for one thing in particular, but if they're ever put into a situation where they can't do that one thing, they're often screwed. The Minmaxer often accounts for this by giving their character abilities that prevent them from having their one trick from being taken away. Minmaxers tend to get a bad rap in the tabletop community. Often, minmaxing is tied to metagaming or cheating, but this is really not the case. While yes, a minmaxer can be these things, there's also a equally prevalent group of minmaxers that understand what makes it fun. So in this video, we'll go over where the joy of minmaxing comes from and how to be a good minmaxer that your DM is gonna love. Okay, so I want to show you an example of what it's like to build a min-maxed character. For instance, I'm going to make what is called a skill monkey. Basically, this character isn't meant to be good at sword fighting or magic, but rather just needs to have as many proficiencies as possible. Keep in mind, I'm doing most of this off the top of my head, so it's probably not going to be perfect. Starting off with the race, we're going to want to go with Githyanki. And that's because Githyanki have this ability called Astral Knowledge, meaning that whenever we finish a long rest, we can gain proficiency of one skill of our choice, which also means that, hey, after every long rest, we can change our proficiencies if we're finding that we think we've made the wrong choice, or we feel that we could be using one more in an upcoming situation and one less. So for a skill monkey character, Githyanki is just a great choice. I'm going to go into these exact picks later, but for now, I want to move on to class. For our instance, we're making a 4th level character, and I'm doing this intentionally because what we want to do is we want to take 3 levels of Bard, and we want to take 1 level of Rogue. This allows us to get the expertise that you get from Bard, and the expertise that you get from a rogue. Expertise gives you double proficiency bonus for the abilities you choose. First, though, we actually have to pick our proficiencies. I'm not going to worry too much about the instruments because they don't matter much. For our instance, I am going with the mostly charismatic skills, except for here, we're going to go with athletics, and I'm going to do expertise in athletics, and I will explain why in a minute. Also, we want to go College of Lore because now you get 3 bonus proficiencies, which I'm now going to put in there. Oh, as well, the spell list that you pick doesn't really matter. However, if you take Borrowed Knowledge, you choose one skill which you lack proficiency for the spell's duration. You have proficiency in the chosen skill, meaning that even if in some instance you don't have the proficiency you need, you can now just cast the spell and get it. So the reason before why we wanted to focus on athletics, giving it proficiency and giving it expertise, is because it is actually going to be staying at an 8. That's because strength only affects athletics, and because we're a bard, we're not going to be using strength weapons. We don't need strength. Same with Constitution, doesn't affect any skills. These both are going to stay at an 8. I am going to make it a Charisma Bard, so we're going to get Charisma as high as possible. Dexterity also as high as possible. I'm going to do it this way. And then we can do Charisma, Dexterity. We could do Intelligence. And there we go. Actually, no, I'm going to do Wisdom. There we go. That's how I want to do it, just because I think Wisdom is more useful than Intelligence. Depends on your game, though. For background, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to take the first one because it gives us those proficiencies. I'll just take whatever languages, because once again, languages don't exactly care. We don't exactly care about those for the build. And there we go. We have a fully min-maxed character, or at least mostly min-maxed. There are definitely things you could do to make this better and make this for particular games, but I just wanted to show you what it is like making one. As you can see, even though we have a -1 in strength, we have a +3 in athletics. We can see our charisma stats. We have +7s in all those. That's great. I think, yeah, the lowest we have is a +2. Almost everything is +3 or more. We're going to be passing most skill challenges that we come across. Now, that does mean that we might not be as great of a swordsman or as great of a spellcaster, but we didn't want those things. For this character, we wanted specifically to be good at skill challenges, which is exactly what this character does. For context, I have played many a game with a min-maxed character, and I've never had anyone complain when I have gone with that style of play. Min-maxing is fun because you get to bring a strategic attitude to the game and play combat like it's kind of like a board game. Each of your abilities are playing off each other or playing off party members, as well as it can be very fun for a savant character. You might not be the strongest or the most flexible or the most charismatic, but you are almost always the smartest person in the room. In fact, if you ever give someone recognition as being smarter or wiser than you, it is one of the greatest compliments that your character is capable of giving. Min-maxing is about being the best at the thing you want to be the best at, and to have the most options in that area, or just be most likely to succeed as possible. You do this at the cost of everything that isn't connected to what you want. This can be often misconstrued as not wanting to play as part of the team, or wanting to make your character more special than everyone else. And while we've all heard the stories of these type of players, I don't see it in that way at all. A min-maxer makes their character to shine during their part of the game, but since they can't do much outside of that, inherently they have to give control of the wheel to other players during these other situations. The character that has the charisma to persuade any NPC to give them whatever they want cannot use their charisma to figure out where these traps are in this 100-year-old dungeon. And the character who can see every single trap coming up due to their amazing perception might need someone to get a better deal for the loot they find in that dungeon. An experienced player will know what the line is between what's fun for their group and what's not. But if you're new to the game or just not very confident, here's some ideas that you can bring into your min-maxed character to ensure that everyone at the table has fun. Most people who hate min-maxers hate them because they feel that they are trying to hog the spotlight or be better than everyone else by getting the most kills or doing the most damage. You can counteract this by building a min-maxed support character. Optimize your abilities to heal your allies and aid them with advantages or bonuses to their rolls. Most people will not see a problem in something they would see otherwise if it benefits them. So being able to help your party is a good way to prevent them from complaining while you're still getting comfortable. Honestly, this is just great advice for any situation where you're nervous or unsure about how your playstyle will be taken by a party. As long as you're healing the party, they're going to be happy with you. Whenever I'm playing a new shooter, I always pick a support class because I know as long as I'm reviving people, no one's going to care how many kills I'm getting. Min-maxers build their characters to have their moments. Whether that's showing their character's strength, intelligence, magical abilities, or skillfulness, there are going to be times where your character gets to shine in the spotlight. Because of this, it's important to remember that you need to pull yourself out of the spotlight and give it to the rest of the party. Even if you're in a situation where everyone has the opportunity to do their thing, sometimes stepping back and allowing everyone else to feel cool without you will make up for the times where you're gonna feel cool without them. You don't have to do this all the time, just keep in mind that even if you've built a character in such a way that they could easily pass a charisma check, that doesn't mean that you should be the one conversing with another character's background NPC. To me, the most important part about playing a min-maxed character is playing by the rules. Too many times I look up a different crazy D&D build only to realize that they rely on particular interpretations of the rules that a lot of DMs are not going to agree with. The worst situations are when they are downright ignoring existing rules, saying that it'd be allowed based off of what is essentially rule of cool. No, you can't stack advantages, and no, Silvery Barbs is not going to work on successful rolls. Look it up. These frustrate me because the whole point of min-maxing is to use the rules of the game to optimize your character to do maybe a couple of particular things, sacrificing whatever you can to pull it off. and you're really trying to test the limits of what the rules allow you to do. By not creating a character exactly as rules is written, you're not a min-maxer, you're just trying to make an OP character. A true min-maxer in my book will remind the DM of rules that actively hurt their own character. This is why, in my opinion, any good min-max build you find online should be standard array or point buy. Rolled stats are not repeatable, and if your build relies on this, it makes it highly likely you'll never actually get to use this character. Your fellow players and DMs will also appreciate your honesty. If your DM is using flanking rules that you use to your advantage, remind your DM that the monsters also get to roll advantage on you too. I use this example because I've been in this exact situation before, and if you've ever been as well, then you know that you can feel how the rest of your group will respect your honesty and willingness to put your character in more danger to play by the rules of the game. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it and you want to see more like it, click that subscribe button to stay updated on my future releases. Once again, thank you for watching. This is the end of the video.